the empty quarter. There's no better way to take in the vastness of the Arabian desert than through the air. Nearly silent, you glide over the tranquil terrain with effortless grace. The desert is an important part of Emirati culture and life, and I can totally see why. The patterns of nature paint the sand, dunes with prominent spines, animal tracks, the golden glistle of the sunrise. This is a transcending experience. With serenity found, it's time for my feet to touch the desert as I'm in search of a meal. So I hook up with my buddy Eddie from Platinum Heritage. Desert safaris are the thing in Dubai, and if you want to do it with the best, it doesn't get any better than Platinum Heritage. But before we begin, I need the appropriate desert garb. Step one before heading into the desert, you gotta have the right garb. And this is called
Gutra.
Gutra.
Traditional men's garb. Keeps the sun off your head, and in a big sandstorm it can keep the sand out of your face as well.
There we go. Eddie has been in the Emirates for quite a while now. He knows the desert well, about Emirati culture, and he's got a lot to share. Alright, so I got my handy dandy Gutra. I am pretty much ready to head into the desert, but I do need an appropriate vehicle for the job. In this case, Platinum Heritage only use Land Rovers. Platinum Heritage boasts the world's most pristine and largest museum showpiece quality vintage Land Rovers. With our rides selected, this awesome Defender, we're off into the desert. So we are in the Rub Al Khali now.
We are currently in the Rub Al Khali, which is actually the world's largest continuous sand desert. 650,000 square kilometers of sand dunes. This desert is the size of France. So right now we're about to go into the Dubai Desert Conservation Reserve. So yeah, welcome to the DDCR. Woo. This is 224 square kilometers of pristine desert. There are tracks running through and you do not drive off-road in here. A big part of what the reserve is about is keeping a place for the Arabian oryx to be able to live safely.
Wow, what a gorgeous animal.
These are the national animal of the UAE. They are...
I'm gonna bust out my camera. I've always wanted to see these majestic animals up close.
These guys are the supreme desert survivors. They can actually go for longer than camels without water.
Wow.
Pure white helps keep them cool in the summertime. Their dark legs absorb heat and keep them warm in the winter. That they're able to survive temperatures of up to say 55, almost 60 degrees. And then down at night in the wintertime, it can get as low as 8 out here.
We're back on the road. Sand.
Out in the desert.
Just vast. A few more miles and we're deep into the interior. It's time to stretch our legs and really take it all in. Wow. And these trees trip me out.
Guff trees. Guff trees are probably one of the most important plants that you can actually find out in the desert. For the Bedouins, they mean life.
Yeah.
It's a place where if you meet in the desert, to sit and talk. So this here is the Rymph. A really interesting plant actually. Deep complex roots mean that it gets all of its water actually from the early morning dew, as opposed to from its roots. But this is really important for the animals because they eat this when there's no water to drink. Because if you squish it,
it's super squishy and
there's a lot of moisture inside it.
Just a pop of moisture.
There are animals out in the desert that will never drink water their entire lives. They will just eat the Rymph. Now, a Bedouin man lost in the desert could survive by eating a bit of rimp, but it's kind of bitter and it's not the greatest taste. What this was mostly used for is, it's actually a hand sanitizer. When you mix it with water, it's a soap. But importantly, medicine-wise, you take the bark of the roots, brew it into a tea, and it was used to help treat diabetes.
Wow.
It's a very important plant out here in the desert, and one that a lot of animals rely on to make their homes underneath of as well.
Amazing. There's not a lot of things going on out here, but whatever that is, it's just like so pertinent to...
Incredibly so. Every single little piece of this
here.
ecosystem works together to make it work. They survive by working together.
And this is a protected habitat.
This is, no one gets to come in here, and it's well maintained and looked after.
Eddie's been a treasure trove of knowledge about the desert and the lives of the people who call it their home. But my journey is just getting started. Our next stop, campsite.